Hi, my name is James Flint, and I want to talk to you about how to change the aperture on a digital camera. Before we talk about how to change the aperture, let's talk about what the aperture is and why you would want to change it. You can equate the aperture to the iris in your eye. It's basically an opening in the camera lens that determines how much light gets through and how great the depth of field is of your shot. So if you have your camera aperture open all the way, it's going to be a really low f-stop or aperture number, but it's going to be the widest opening and it's going to allow the most light in. You know how if you are in the bathroom mirror and the lights are on and you flip them off and then you flip them back on, when you flip them back on you'll notice that your iris in your eye goes from being really big to being really small. And the point is, when it's dark, you want it to be wide open so a lot of light can come through. And when it's not as bright, or when it's bright, you need it to be more closed so not too much light gets in. Same thing works with the camera and the camera aperture. So if you're in a low light setting, you're going to want the aperture to be open really wide so that you can get as much light in as possible. You'll see here on my camera, there's a dial on the front. You spin this to adjust the aperture. Of course, this only works in a manual setting. If you were doing automatic shooting, it would calculate the aperture for you. But so say I'm shooting, I'm in a low light situation. I want the eye or the aperture to be open so I can get a lot of light in. I will go down to a lower f-stop number, say 3.5 or 4. And again, it's as simple as making a spin on this dial. Most cameras, the aperture adjustment is going to be somewhere located near the shutter button so that you can easily adjust your aperture and then take a picture. So it's pretty simple to change the aperture, but before you go messing with aperture, you want to understand what the differences are and why you would change it.